All right, once again, we're going to be jumping back into the Bitcoin price action. We'll look at the S&P and Russell as well today. Might jump into the DXY a little bit in gold, because why not? Just a quick overview of all of these charts. And while nothing has changed on the higher term time frame, we are seeing some stuff that kind of confirm those targets for the long term, such as Bitcoin now pulling back a little bit, but finding very nice support on this volume level. You can see just how well these volume levels are respected. Jumped out to the daily time frame, visible range volume profile on the right. You can see very clearly, since we've spent so much time in this range, we've built up these clusters that are very clear cut. So I love to see this flipping that point of control, or even the value area high, you could consider it as well, right? This is kind of the value area high of this entire macro range we've been in. If we can go ahead and actually, after backtesting this, right, we need to get above volume. If we can go ahead and do that, if we can start making the higher high, if we can confirm outside of this, right, if we don't just fill it, because we don't have clear confirmation yet. We definitely need some solid 4-hour closes above, some daily closes above this volume cluster. But if we can do that, then your next target's probably going to be all-time highs, and it should happen fairly quickly. I don't think this is going to act as much resistance, although it could, so definitely don't be fumbling into longs on any breakouts. That is not when you long. You do not long breakouts, and because we do have this big descending channel that I'm sure all of your retail investors have their eyes glued to, if we do go ahead and break it, you're probably going to see a lot of FOMO right here. Don't be surprised if we wick them down real quick and then hunt up to all-time highs. Definitely getting into areas where there's going to be a lot of euphoria in the market, so we just need to stay cautious when it comes to that. But there is good reason for that euphoria, and that structurally we have flipped bullish, and all-time highs is definitely our next target. But as I've been saying, all-time highs might not be the start of the journey. It might be the end of the journey, and we might fall after that into the bear market. But we'll take it day by day. There's no need to rush any positions. When we break into all-time highs, I'm definitely not saying if we break up here to just instantly sell your bags. No, don't do that, because this could act very similar to 2020. We do have a fractal similar to 2020 with this descending channel. You see a very similar thing here before we have this massive breakout and launch up into massive gains in the entirety of the altcoin season. And I would not fade Bitcoin if it is going to play out with some of its fundamentals on being a reserve asset for the world, because that is something that is definitely possible. We cannot rule that out. So I wouldn't fade this potentially playing out where we do just kind of launch up into an actual 4-year cycle like many predict we will, having the top and later in 2025. That's just not my base case, but we'll see how it does play out. Let's go ahead and jump off of Bitcoin though, because nothing really else too much to say here. Looking at total 3, we expected a bit of a sweep down. We did break this wick, but not too bad. We're still holding the higher lows, so nothing too concerning there. We'll see if this can get back above the $620 billion market cap level. That's the big level we've been watching. And once we do that, that's going to confirm more of an altcoin season. It's probably why you're seeing Bitcoin dominance continue to march on up, because total 3 is at such a big resistance level. But of course, if Bitcoin can break all-time highs, there will be no more resistance on altcoins, and they will absolutely fly, in my opinion. I said we'd touch on gold, so we'll just go through my tabs down the list, starting off with gold. And you can see, once again, another all-time high today over on gold. So there is a safety trade going on. Money is not necessarily going full on risk right now. That's probably another reason you're seeing the lower cap stuff not perform quite as well, other than maybe meme coins these last couple of months for some reason. But yeah, definitely not bad to see that gold is going up. Shows that the dollar is weakening, which is good for Bitcoin. And all asset rally is what is going on right now, it seems like, in the markets. So definitely don't mind gold rallying right here. It has some of the same fundamentals as Bitcoin, so that's noteworthy as well. We go over to the DXY, and you can see even with gold rallying, the dollar's rallying too, which is interesting. Now, normally this is bad for Bitcoin. They're inversely correlated, but gold's also normally inversely correlated. It's rallying, the market's rallying with the dollar, and the markets actually weren't doing great when the dollar was plummeting either. So I think there's a bit of dollar milkshake theory going on right now, where money overall is being rotated out of dollars into assets. They're just being rotated more heavily out of other currencies, less than the US dollar, and that's why the DXY index is going up. This doesn't compare the value to gold or Bitcoin or the S&P, right? So the DXY going up, while normally it's bearish, doesn't seem to have too much of an impact on markets right now, but we'll keep a close eye on this. Now let's get into some stuff that is super bullish and has changed for this cycle. This is something that hasn't happened in 2024, 2023. We have now flipped the value area high of the previous bull market for the Russell into support. Now, is this clear confirmation? No. Like I always say, I want to see multiple closes above, daily closes, weekly closes. I want more confirmation here, but so far, this looks like a breakout and potential back test on the Russell, and our next target could very easily be all-time highs on this thing, showing that there will be a massive rotation into risk on assets in the stock market, which absolutely should correlate with a rotation to risk on assets in crypto as well. So I think we're seeing a lot of stars aligned for the start of altcoin season, especially with Bitcoin lining up to go into all-time highs right now. So this is extremely bullish. Russell also correlates a lot with Bitcoin itself. So the fact that this flipped value area high into support, if this goes ahead and starts sending up, that's going to absolutely magnet Bitcoin along with it into all-time highs, and it should happen fairly quickly here. So that's really awesome to see. We'll make sure to keep a close eye on this though, because we just have one wick on the daily. I don't want to jump the gun. We'll see what tomorrow brings us, and then we're going into a big weekend, so definitely don't expect anything too crazy immediately. But love to see it, and we'll touch on the S&P real quickly, just because even though there's really nothing to talk about here, it's still just marching up into all-time highs, but kind of just consolidating here recently in the last couple of days. So really nothing too much to speak of here. But yeah, with everything I'm seeing on the charts, it's just giving me more confirmation of my bullish sentiment, and we love to see it. But of course, stay vigilant in the markets. You never know what's really going to happen. But if you do have any questions about anything I talked about, or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. Also down below is a VIP Discord, so feel free to check that out. Click on that link. You can read more about it, decide for yourself if it's worth your money or not. Also down there is exchange partners, so feel free to use those referral links to get yourself some nice rewards and bonuses when you sign up for those exchanges. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.